This is how we wrap up every show with a segment we call Let's Get Practical. Coming up on 100 episodes or more. So we've done this a lot. What are 2 or 3 pieces of advice, key pieces of advice, and it can be a recap, a reiteration, a driving home of a point you've already made, or it can be something we forgot to ask you or something we haven't had a chance to talk about. What would you advise a CEO listener, things they can do immediately to begin to get a better handle on their cash flow?
I want to keep it there again. I like to keep it simple. I don't like to say I'm a simple person because I can be taken the wrong way, but I like to make it attainable. Set small goals. Start small. Start doing something tomorrow. It doesn't have to be fixing your cash flow problem for the next 12 months, but do one thing. And hopefully we've given us some ideas, whether it's just look at where your money's gone for the last 30 days. That's a simple one you can start with. Start putting a 4-week cash flow forecast in place. And there, I say that, and what I see a lot of people do is they make it too detailed. Like, payroll is going to be $25,421. Well, keep it simple. Payroll and taxes are going to be $25,000, and rent is going to be $7,000. Just kind of keep it simple numbers. It'll give you the picture really quick. Do those things. Keep it simple. I would say the other thing would be find someone who can help you start building some KPIs, some quick ratios and things to look at to give you a little bit expanded picture around some of your cash ins and outs. Days sales outstanding, days payables outstanding, your inventory days, things like simple ratios that are easily calculated, easy to find on the internet how to calculate them. There again, just start with baby steps. Start with a step tomorrow and just get moving on it. And then of course, if you need help, call someone who's experienced who can give you some insight and help you along the process.
Awesome. Patsy, what would you add?
I would add that bad data equals bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So assess what data you're collecting and whether it's good or bad or mixed. I would add that debt is a strategic tool, and get debt in accordance. Get the amount, make sure that whatever debt you take on is in accordance with what your needs are.
Right.
Those are the 2 I would add.
You just took 2 right off my list.
Good. I love it when I do that.
I will add, this is very practical. Consider converting inventory to cash as quickly as you can, right? Even at a potential discount of 5 to 10%. That discount is better than keeping it on the shelf for 6 to 9 months, holding out for full price. I thought that was very practical. Good advice. You mentioned a couple of quick strategies for quick wins for improving cash flow, right? Tighten up your receivables. It's a quick way. And then consider renegotiating your terms with your vendors, right? Even an extra 5 to 10 days on your payables can help you improve cash flow. And then Brian, you somewhat took one that I want to highlight because again, not to make it an infomercial, but I do genuinely believe in the value of outside help when this is, when it's outside of your area of expertise. And so many business owners start businesses with a passion and a cool idea and no idea about the inner workings of a balance sheet or profit and loss or any of that stuff, or cash flow for that matter. And rather than try to fake it till you make it, if you've got, if the business has reached the size that warrants hiring somebody internally, it's a smart strategic decision and probably necessary to get you to the next level. And if your business has not achieved that level yet, then consider, engaging with a fractional CFO who can, on a much lower cost basis, much more part-time, can still help you in all these areas. And I happen to know somebody, if if a listener is not sure who to call. And we'll get to that in a minute. Brian and Patsy, any more that you would add? Any more let's get practicals that you'd add before we wrap up?
One more that I would add, and kind of an aha with what you were just saying, Patrick, in that cash flow is a leadership and culture issue. And I'm curious, so I've never done this in the middle of Let's Get Practical with Brian, but I have another question for you is, do you need to teach your senior team what you mean by good cash flow, by good financial acumen? How many times are we faced with that, Patrick, where we're asked by our clients to teach the senior leaders, what does it even mean to have financial responsibility?
Yes. Brian?
So make sure everybody's on the same page.
It is. And kind of a combination to both your previous comments. So oftentimes when I help a business person, they've started a business, they have a great business, they're passionate about what they do or their product that they make, and they don't have the background to really understand the financials. They don't have the acumen. They don't have the understanding of how to read financial statements. And I just like they wouldn't ask me to help them build a skyscraper. I'm not going to ask them to understand all the ins and outs of financial statements. But if we can, and we do often, number one, first help them interpret the numbers and understand what it's saying, but then also help take them a little bit further so that they can start looking at it and starting to grasp some of the insights as well. And it takes a while because yes, it's a learned thing. I got a few years under my belt. It took me a while to learn all these things, as I'm sure you guys understand. And so I can't expect them to be performing at a college level. But let's start a little bit at a time and help them dig into the numbers and get comfortable with understanding their business.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
One big takeaway for me, Patsy, unfortunately, when we do our episode on how to build a skyscraper, we'll have to get a different guest than Brian.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I thought but apparently not. So
I know I built a lot of houses, and I know I can help you there along the way, but not a skyscraper.
All right. Well, we all have our limitations.
Yeah.
All right, listener. I alluded earlier to knowing a good fractional CFO. If you, if that's a need that you have, Brian, if somebody's interested in getting in touch with you, either to see the presentation to learn more about profitability, or to get some advice on cash flow, or if they're interested in engaging with you as a fractional CFO to support them, what's the best way to contact you?
That's great. Yeah. My email, which we try to keep it simple, it's Brian Keyser. So my whole name, BrianKeyser at anthem.cpa. Anthem Strategist is a CPA firm, so it's anthem.cpa. My phone number, I'll give you my cell phone number, because that one you can always reach me on. It's 503-939-7705. Reach out to me. And the great thing in this day and age is so much of the work I do is virtual and can be virtual. So you don't have to be in the Northwest or even in the Oregon market. You can be anywhere in the country. That we can set up conversations pretty easy.
Excellent. Brian, thank you so much for helping us unpack this topic. We needed an expert like you to help us understand it and explain it. So very much appreciate your time today.
It's been very enjoyable. Thank you. I appreciate you both very much. Just getting to have a great relationship with both of you. And so enjoyable to sit here. It's been like we're sitting down across the coffee table, just having a chat. It's been very nice to just share. This gray hair has given me a little bit of wisdom, hopefully, over the years. And if I can share that, I'll be very glad to help people.
Well, looking at the screen, only you and I are the ones that have to deal with the gray hair. Patsy, you've somehow passed you by.
Well, I also appreciate how accessible and understandable, you made a topic that can often overwhelm us. So that I really, really, really appreciate.
Yep.
Thank you. Well,
excellent.
Appreciate that very much.
Brian, thank you. Patsy, thank you for being for being a great contributor to or co-host, foil. I don't know. What have I called us through the years? I enjoy working with you. Thank you so much. You're awesome as always.
Welcome.
All right.
You are welcome.
And listener, thank you for sticking with us to the end of another episode of the Frustrated CEO podcast. You will find this episode on YouTube. Just do a search for the Frustrated CEO podcast. You can also connect with all three of us, Brian, Patsy, and me on LinkedIn. You'll find this content also on our LinkedIn page. Do a search for the Lions Group Consulting. You'll find this. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. If you haven't engaged with us yet, then shame on you. Do it before our next episode. How's that? All right. Both of you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. And listener, we'll see you next time on the Frustrated CEO podcast.